All right, everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Colton Posey Fishing. So today we're going to be talking about fishing these pressured fisheries. So here recently, like you're going to see in the video coming up, we were fishing Lewis Smith Lake, and it was during the Elite Series event, and we found out some information that really helped us because we were trying to stay off of the main and go to areas where we wouldn't get beat up by wake boats and we wouldn't be, fishing kind of in an Elite Series angler's way, just trying to kind of stay out of their way, but still catch fish. And not really, it's not that we were looking for massive size fish or, an abundance of fish, but we just wanted to catch as many fish as we could and have a good time while we were out there, and we figured it out. So stay tuned, this is something you don't want to miss. We'll see it like where that break is. There off that ledge. Large mouth, they'll be piled in there together. Got him. Large mouth. Kicker, that's a kicker. That's the kicker up here. Got him? Big one? Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, easy. Oh yeah, that's a good. Oh, pockets it is. Little old bitty thing. Got it. Large mouth. It's a good one. All right, bud. You hooked right in the nostrils. Pretty. All right, so as a full-time content creator, I'm always in the outdoors, especially with me being in the fishing industry. So, stuff's always getting dirty, from my tires to my floor mats to just about anything, my equipment. And I've used similar products to Super Clean before, but Super Clean is actually biodegradable ingredient, so I can actually use it and feel comfortable about using it and preserving our outdoor environments that I make my living in and that I enjoy being in. So if you're interested in a great product, something that you can clean up stuff super easy with, degreasers, you can use it on barbecue grill grates, all different kinds of stuff. The tire cleaner you spray on, wipe it down real good, spray it off. The stuff comes right off. It's a great product for you to keep your stuff clean. You can also keep your environment clean. So check out Super Clean. All right, so now we're talking about heavy pressured fisheries. So with heavy pressured fisheries, we have a lot of things that we have to take into account. So like this weekend, we had the Elite Series going on. So obviously we've got these guys hammering away on the fish. Then we've got our tournament, weekend anglers, the guys that, usually fish the tournament throughout the weekend. So the fishery's getting fished, in the morning, it's getting fished in the middle of the day, it's getting fished at night. That's one of the big things about down here in the South. As you can see by my shirt, I'm soaking wet with sweat. You ain't even got to do anything, and you just pour sweat. So we fish at night typically, except for me, I'm not that smart. But either way, the lake is just getting consistently beat up. So we have to make an adjustment to that. And as y'all know, I typically don't like to finesse fish. It's not that I can't, and it's not that I'm not good at finesse fishing. It's just a type and style of fishing that I don't really care to do. I like to move. I like covering lots of water. Even if I'm not catching a whole lot, I still like that chase where I'm trying to find and locate and catch an abundance of fish, but at a quick pace. There's a lot of power in numbers. It's kind of the way that I put it through my mind, and that's the way I enjoy fishing. So, let's say you're the guy, not necessarily tournament fishing, but you're just the, the weekend guy, just trying to go out on the lake, have a good time, and it's been beat up, for the past week, 2 weeks, whatever. But it's heavy pressured, like heavy. So, it's hard to be out on the main lake, obviously, because wake boats and jet skis and stuff like that. So you may want to drift off into the creeks. And that comes into play where I talk about, you got fish that live on the main lake, die on the main lake, and spawn on the main lake. Same within the creeks. You got fish that live in the creeks, die in the creeks, and they spawn in the creeks. So, you can kind of pick and choose your battles. But one of the biggest things that I can say to look for, especially when you're fishing creeks, is the deep parts of the creek. So if you're moving back in a creek, and let's say most anglers are going to go through that creek and they're going to hit those secondary points, right? Going throughout the creek, and they're going to hit the docks right in the main part of the creek, okay? That goes back to me saying fish a creek like you're fishing the main lake. Treat it as if you're on the main lake and that's the only place you can fish. So you got points and you got, you know, cuts, or you got channel bends or something like that. Fish it like you would the main lake if the fish were living on the main lake. Just look at that area like it is the main lake. So we found most of our fish were actually in pockets off of these secondary points and pockets off of the main lake. So most people were targeting these secondary points and these docks and stuff going down through the creek and, you know, the main lake and stuff like that. Well, we were actually pushing up in these pockets and we were catching them dirt shallow. And what we found was when we would go up in these pockets, how we knew whether or not bass was in there is we would make casts with spinner baits. So this is the spot sticker spinner bait I tell y'all about all the time. I can move this bait very quickly. So that's what I do is I cast this bait around cover and stuff and I move that bait quickly. And if I see shad and stuff turning over, you know, jumping or chasing this bait or anything like that, 99% of the time we were getting bit on this. Now, with that being said, there's another bait that you can use that is become notorious throughout the world, and that's the Rapala Crush City. So the Rapala Crush City, the 3-inch, is a great profile design to throw up in these pockets, to throw up in these little areas where you have small threadfin shad or herring or gizzards or anything like that. You know, you can adjust the sizes you need depending on the bait fish that, you know, the fish are eating in your home lake or your home river. But, you know, throwing up in there and then seeing the shad or the herring or, you know, the gizzards or anything like that, following that bait, then I know, hey, there's got to be a fish in this general area. And we figured out real quick with the spinner baits and the Crush City and stuff, moving that bait quickly, getting it up in the cover quickly, deep up in the cover. I mean, almost getting hung up, but throwing it deep up in that cover, almost dirt shallow on the bank, and then bringing it out into the middle of that pocket, they would just smoke it. So, you know, if you're on your main lake and you're having a hard time targeting fish because whether it's boat traffic or tournament pressure or anything like that, look in your pockets. Like pockets off the main lake. Just, you know, here's a point that comes out and this goes back up into the creek, the point comes around and then you're on the main lake and then there's a little pocket in there, but there's some brush and stuff back in there. It's a little muddy, it's a little stained from all the boat traffic stuff. It doesn't matter. Those fish will actually sit on the outside of that stained water, look up, and they're gonna see your bait come by and they'll come up, smoke it. It's a great way to catch fish, and it's one of those things that I hadn't really ever applied, and it's something that we found, you know, rather quickly, and we enjoyed the day and got to fish dirt shallow, no active target, no live scope, whatever you call it, just simply just going fishing and having fun. So guys, if the video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe for more content. I got you covered when it comes to anything bass fishing. Also, we got members only, $2 a month. It helps me out with gas, tackle, equipment, all that stuff. If you can do it, great. If you can't, I understand completely, but I appreciate you stopping by. If you got any questions, as always, drop a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you next time. All right, so we're talking about heavily fishered fisheries. That's one definitely, that's a blooper. That's a blooper at the end of the day. Heavily, I don't even know what I said. Heavenly, flissfully. I said something.
You're talking about heavenly fisheries.
I guess, I don't know.
The Lord is with you.
All right, so talking about heavy fish. All right, so talking about heavy fish. Golly, I can't get that word. Heavy pressured fisheries. Heavy pressured fisheries.
Take 3.
All right, so talking about heavy pressured fish. Corey.
You acted like
Corey,
a rookie.
You gotta quit. You gotta quit.
I didn't do
You gotta
anything.
quit.
What did I
You gotta
do?
quit. Oh, I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
I got it.
You just blamed it on
Yeah, I'm blaming it on you. My arthritis. I got arthritis somewhere.
your brain.
Yeah, I guess. Something slowed down. All that heat today.